The clock just a handful of minutes away from striking midnight. The UNLV Skating Rebels set to host the Arizona State Sun Devils. Hello, welcome into the broadcast. Thank you all for joining us on this very, very late puck drop. Zoe Salas joining me outside of City National Arena. Dominic Lavoie, your play-by-play commentator. Now, after a few weeks away, UNLV finally back home here in Las Vegas. 2 weeks on the road, Zoe. GCU and Oklahoma, each series had their challenges.
Yeah, no, Dom, I just talked to the coaches earlier today. They said their biggest takeaways was just how important consistency is and paying attention to detail. They mentioned how just one missed assignment or a turnover really swings momentum. They mentioned how proud they were of the group's just compete level and the character overall as a team as they came out strong together, and this week they focused mostly on tightening up defensively and managing the puck better and just improving execution overall in all three zones.
And then we mentioned already that this is a midnight puck drop for UNLV, their annual midnight game, Zoe. We experienced some challenges as staff. We're both pretty tired. We're kind of cold outside here.
Yes, we are.
But what can the players expect with a midnight puck drop? What kind of challenges can they expect?
Yes, well, Dom, earlier the coaches mentioned how, this game is definitely a challenge for them. They're expecting, a fast, physical-paced game. They're expecting, just to stay disciplined is what they're focusing on. But, like you said, it's the midnight game, and it is a major showcase for the program. And they're expecting, just a heavy crowd, student-heavy, as they bring in the most electric atmosphere that we get to see all season. And the coach's messages to the team was just to take that energy and use it as momentum and not a distraction tonight.
We'll see if they can do just that. For additional information on the midnight game, we're going to send things inside to our ringside reporter, Kyle Sparrow.
Thank you, Dom. Let me take you guys back to January 23rd, 2025, the last midnight game here inside City National Arena, where the Skating Rebels completely dominated the San Diego State Aztecs, beating them 16-2. Heath Mensch getting 4 goals, and we expect a packed house tonight as well, full of students that the team just feeds off of this crowd. And for ASU, you're coming into hostile territory. We all know UNLV, midnight game, everyone gets hyped for it. The build-up's been all week. It's Greek night. There's so many festivities, and it's just going to be such a fun time. Now, UNLV did split against GCU last week, but they will be coming out fast, and they're coming out to win. Dom will send it over to you guys.
The mountains are my favorite place to get away and be together. With Lazy Dog, I wanted to create that same experience for our guests. Whether you're meeting up for happy hour, getting the whole crew together to celebrate, or looking for a delicious dinner at home, we're your local spot. Great ingredients are at the heart of our scratch kitchen, so we look for partners that put the same care into their craft as we do. So stop by and get back to what really matters.
UNLV back home for the penultimate weekend at City National Arena in the 25-26 season. After hitting a few bumps on the road, the Skating Rebels are back on home ice to play host to the Arizona State Sun Devils. These two teams know each other very well. A midnight puck drop coming up. UNLV, ASU, after dark.
Well, it's Midnight Madness here at City National Arena as the Rebels get set to take on the visiting Sun Devils of Arizona State. And I'm joined here with freshman forward Bryce Johnson. Bryce, how does it feel to play a game at midnight?
I don't know how to feel about it. It actually feels kind of normal. I'm kind of surprised. Took a nap before and we're feeling good.
And you've been having a great season so far, 23 points in 24 games. What's been working well for you?
I don't know, just keeping it simple and just keeping it simple.
And lastly, your Seahawks won the bowl last weekend. Are you still flying high?
I am still flying high, and I will be for a while, probably until we don't win the Super Bowl. I'm hoping we just win it every year for the rest of my life.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate your time. Good luck tonight. Go get them.
Yeah, thank you.
Don?
Thank you, Bo, and thank you all for tuning in at midnight here at City National Arena. UNLV taking on Arizona State. Bo, you made it up to the broadcast booth. Thanks for hustling over after warm-ups were over. You're seeing the UNLV Hockey National Championship banner 2025. UNLV looking to defend their title. We mentioned a few moments ago the bumps on the road against GCU and Oklahoma, Bo, but UNLV back home for the second to last home weekend of the season. And ASU is a team that UNLV knows really well. The Sun Devils usually give the Skating Rebels fits when they're in Tempe, but they've even toned the physicality up here in Las Vegas. And I mean, you saw when they were here last January, Dylan Ford, Hunter Friesen got into a bit of a scuffle.
Yeah, WCHL teams here playing at City National. So I'm looking for a competitive game here from both sides, and I'm excited for Midnight Madness here as we get things rolling.
I mean, you've been a part of this program. We've been talking about it a lot. Just prepping for a midnight game or even being here for a midnight game when you're on the game playing side of things. What is that like? Like, how much does that throw your routine off?
It definitely throws it off a little bit. I feel like the players find a little bit of comfort in having a normal practice time. So they practice today at 2:50 when they normally practice. A little bit later of a pregame nap, that's for sure. I was talking to a few of the guys beforehand, and I think some of them shut her down maybe around 6 o'clock. So that's definitely different, but I think everybody's excited to be here.
Definitely. I'm excited to be here. It's midnight game. I don't even know what at this point for myself with this program, but UNLV taking the ice. The starters will come over the big screen here at City National Arena. We're going to get to those after the opening ceremonies here at City National. But the crowd already getting into it, chanting Rebels. There are some Arizona State Sun Devil fans here, Bo. I mean, you heard when the Sun Devils took the ice that there were some cheers, more than usual for the visiting team.
There were, for sure. I don't know if they're drinking coffee or what that's firing them up through the rest of the night here, but it should be a great atmosphere here, and I'm looking forward to it.
Brady Estabrook now says one of the starters for UNLV. Once again, we're going to get to those in a moment after the anthem and the opening ceremonies. We're going to talk more about ASU really quick. Bo, you've been doing a lot of research on their head coach, Johnny Walker. He has a long, extended history with Arizona State. Played for their NCAA D1 program. Racked up, I believe it's 123 points in his 5 career seasons. Even more the captaincy for 1 year. And now he's back trying to help out the ACHA D1 program along at just 30 years of age.
Right, and I asked him what his playing days were like when he was in the maroon and gold, and he said it was the best. To be a part of the program, to be one of the first to play at the NCAA Division I level was an honor for him. And like you said, according to his elite prospects, not too bad on the ice either, tallying 123 points in 139 career games.
Yeah, I mean, almost a point per game, more goals than assists.
Right.
So he had a shot.
Yeah.
He had a shot.
He didn't. He played 62 ECHL games as well, and I think he tallied 32 points, so not a bad pro career there for him either.
Not too bad, not too bad. There's a brief history on Johnny Walker, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils team. We're going to step away for the national anthem and the opening ceremonies here at Midnight Madness at City National Arena. Thank you all for joining us. A pair of sorority presidents, Bo, dropping the ceremonial puck. I actually know Skylar.
Okay.
Skylar, great girl, great woman. The little sister of one of my old roommates who's now in the Navy, David Edgeworth. So if he ever sees this or if Skylar sees this, shout out to them. But anywho, we're going to continue things rolling here on Midnight Madness. First up, we're going to go with the starting lineups for each team. So first up, we're going to see who's on the starting lines for UNLV. So the forwards, Dylan Jensen, Mason Kelly, and Brady Estabrook. A physical forward line, the defenseman Asher Whites and Dylan Kuntz. And on the blue, or in the blue paint, Doug Wakeland holding down the net for UNLV. And then for Arizona State, Arthur DeVilliers, Tyler Kylie Ram, and Connor Squeary, Matthew Gross and Luke Chase on the blue line, and Cody Creasy in the blue paint for the Sun Devils. So Kylie Ram and Kelly dig in, and we're underway after dark at City National Arena for Midnight Madness between the Sun Devils and the Skating Rebels.
Yeah, I think it's going to be important here, Dom, for both teams to establish a good forecheck early in the game.
I mean, that's something huge, especially with how physical these two teams have been in their history matching up against one another. UNLV is 5-1-0 in the last pair of seasons against Arizona State. As we have a stoppage of play early, just about 28 seconds into the opening frame.
I was impressed with the anthem there from that young man. That was very Jimi Hendrix-esque.
Phenomenal anthem. Might be one of my favorites, actually.
Agreed.
Of all time. And back on her way in the ASU offensive zone, Jensen takes it up the left wing and cuts to the center off the backhand of Estabrook. He steers it around the wall for Jensen. Now Jensen fires one and gets blocked away to the glass, and Whites takes a spill and collides with the Sun Devil player. DeVilliers gains his own and fires one after the whistle. Offside is called on the Sun Devils. 51 seconds in, a pair of stoppages already.
Already the Rebels showcasing their speed there. Dylan Jensen with a nice rush and a nice little dish to his wing there on the sidewall, and that's going to be important for the Rebels tonight. Speed will open up the ice.
And speed, bro, is their bread and butter.
That's right.
And I mean, you've played in the system, you've practiced in the system, you've been around it for some time now, and I mean, that's something that they preach even in practice and film.
100% they do.
And if anyone watches the interviews, typically they hear the coaching staff, whether it's Anthony Vigneri-Greener, Nick Raboni, who just welcomed his second child to the world. So congratulations.
Congratulations,
to
coach.
And Colin Robin. It always goes back to buying into the systems and playing the right way, and those are the systems.
So important here, especially down the stretch, the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. You really want to be building those good habits so you can carry them into the national tournament.
And quite possibly a not more effective national tournament, maybe a less stressful national tournament for UNLV. I'm sure they're hoping to have, a pair of come-from-behind wins against Liberty and Maryville en route to their championship. Niagara with a drive, misses just wide.
Yeah, Dom, those were stressful games to watch, and for those guys to be on the ice and get the job done, I'm so happy.
That was another shot from Niagara that got blocked in front. Niagara, a part of the championship winning team last season. He stepped up in a big way this year in the absence of the captain last year, Matias Del Monte, who was the first player to lift the Murdoch Cup. And Creasy's tied up with Mastic and behind the net, but Savitsky fishes it out and plays it up ice. White sends it back into the zone, bouncing puck, skips past Marchand. Mastic now moving on in from the left circle. He shoots and misses the net high. A good chance from Charlie Mastic, the freshman. And Mastic, second in the team in points, 27 points behind Jackson Wyatt, the senior, with 32.
Yeah, he's had a great season so far, and it's only going to keep going for him. He just plays the right way. He does all the little things right, and obviously it's showing on the score sheet as well with those points you just mentioned.
Backel fires one and misses the net wide. And now Kuntz spins one down low. Tonya has misplays a puck. Masick tries to feed it back door. It doesn't get there. What a defensive play by Savitsky, going down on one knee to block that cross crease. And a great shift from Charlie Masick, the freshman, so far, Bo.
Yeah, great start for the Rebels here the first few minutes of the game. It's going to be important that they keep things rolling here. Keep the intensity up, keep the pressure on the Sun Devils in their own end.
And now Gross, under pressure from Masick, plays it for Tonyas. Tonyas spins it back for Gross, under pressure from Karaman, and he shakes off that hit and plays it rink wide off a kick plate. Owen Cross plays it to Gross. Now let's play it in. UNLV surveying the ice. And they'll break it out up the right wing. Fed rink wide from Carollo on the tape for Johnson. He moves in centering. Try on the tape. They shoot. They score. Sean Karaman opens up the scoring during Midnight Madness. And what a feed from Bryce Johnson.
What a feed is right. Good for Sean to get on the board there. Found the open ice and was able to bury.
You can see the emotion from Karaman go through the handshake line. He about missed everybody. Pumping his fist, and he looks like he blew a kiss to Doug Wakeland, the netminder. So Sean Karaman opens up the scoring, and here's another look at it, Bo.
Yeah, Bryce comes in the zone here, makes a good pass to Sean, who's wide open in the slot, and puts it home.
Sean Karaman, the second-year skating Rebel, won the national championship in his freshman year. Here's Johnson again, firing off the blocker of Creasy, and he finds it and holds for a whistle. So, Bo, I'd assume that's pretty important as well to get on the board first at home.
So important here, especially with this big crowd here. The boys can really play into it. And first few minutes here, Dom, we're looking good.
Yeah, I mean, shots are 3-0 in favor of UNLV. So ASU looks like they've kind of had some issues getting through neutral ice as of late. In the opening few moments of this game, they did gain the zone a handful of times, but gaining the zone doesn't do you much if you don't get a shot on goal.
No, you're right, Dom, and I think maybe nerves play into that. They know how good of a team the Rebels are, and they're coming here to enemy territory, and the Rebels have been flying early.
Their forecheck continuing to apply pressure, but that gets directed out of the zone by Connor Squeary. And that can't get played through traffic. And now ASU trying to set up shop, and a big-time hit in the corner. It was Jackson Wyatt hitting Kate Olson, it looked like. And now in the corner, Kylie Ram loses possession of the puck. Nagra's bumped. And that gets knifed away by Jensen. Played on the backhand for Estabrook. Here he comes on the right wing. He shoots one, he scores. Brady Estabrook, far side snipe on the rush. It's 2-0 Rebels.
Wow, what a shot. I think he caught the goaltender by surprise there. It looked like he was looking to his line mate there on a 2-on-1 and then just fired it home.
I mean, that's something you want to do, Bo, is if you see the goaltender cheating a little bit, first instinct is just shoot.
Absolutely, and he capitalized.
And here's another look at it.
Yeah, nice play. Picks the top corner. That's how you draw it up.
And that's the starting forward line as well, Bo. Physicality. Estabrook brings Jensen from time to time. Mason Kelly as well. We saw him mix it up against Oklahoma a pair of weeks ago, but they can also score.
They can, and I was going to call them a grinder line, but I don't think they are. I mean, grinder skill, they're just a solid line.
This is a checking line at all.
No, you can't.
They very well could be.
They can play that way, that's for sure.
But as of right now, they're a scoring line. So UNLV leads 2-0 in the opening 5 minutes of this Midnight Madness game. Sean Karaman opened up the scoring for the Skating Rebels, a second-year player. Then Brady Estabrook, the freshman, a far side snipe just a few moments ago on the rush. And UNLV still leading the shot department 4-0. So Arizona State still looking for their first shot on goal of the night. And they're working it down low. That's played up top of the zone and gets briefly over the blue line. That was Brennan Kazel. Just misplayed it up at the point. And Bo, you were a defenseman just trying to gauge a puck coming up the wall like that and trying to keep the zone. Like, what are the challenges with that?
Yeah, it's tough. You never know which way the puck's going to bounce, so it's going to be important there that you just get it out of the zone cleanly and maybe might have to take a hit to make the play.
Being able to keep, I mean, you know that winger is going to be up in your face in a couple seconds to try and pressure you and maybe poke it by you and get an odd man rush.
Right, he's licking his chops.
Here comes Arizona State. The centering pass doesn't get to Jake King, who's driving the middle of the ice. And now it gets played on the backhand by Strong, but it gets fit back in deep into the UNLV zone and retrieved by Kuntz. So survey the ice behind Doug Wakeland. And that gets sent off the wall and into the zone. Mensch giving chase. Backel plays it around the wall, and Newland is going to hop on it and play it to the middle of the ice for Gross. Played softly to Wyatt. Jackson Wyatt rips one into the mask of Cody Creasy and he'll hold for a whistle. And that one might have Creasy's ears ringing a little bit. It hit his neck protector or his mask, and he's heading back to the bench. Looking for some scissors here. So
good shot from Jackson Wyatt there, and another good opportunity for the Rebels. But I think what's important, Dom, is that the Rebels take care of their own end. I mean, you go up too early here in this first period. Maybe the thought is to be a little complacent, but it's going to be important to take care of your own end first, and then good things will happen.
And that's where championships are won, typically in the D zone, Bo. I'm sure you take pride in that as a defenseman.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, you look at all the cup-winning teams the past few years, big, steady defensemen, break the puck out, block shots.
Especially the Golden Knights in 2023, their D-core. Stacked, Petrangelo, Theodore, McNabb, Haig.
Stacked.
Just to name a few in that back end for the 2023 Golden Knights. And, I mean, you even look at the Florida Panthers, who won back-to-back Stanley Cups. Their back end is stacked as well.
Right.
And UNLV has a pretty stout defenseman core. And there's one of them, the captain, Joey Carollo, playing it towards the point for Mastic, and it doesn't get there. Dylan Gordon, another defenseman for the Skating Rebels team, a freshman this year, in his own end.
I think it speaks volumes, too, to how deep this UNLV team really is, because last weekend against GCU, Joey Carollo and Dylan Gordon were playing forward.
Yeah.
And now they're on the back end for the Rebels, so it just says a lot about the guys and how they can play anywhere.
And, I mean, Joey Carollo has played forward a handful of times in the last few years. I mean, he's much like Sean Karaman. Karaman has played both forward and defenseman since he's come here to Las Vegas. And he got on the score sheet tonight. And now we have a stoppage of play here.
Yeah, and that's such a big goal for Sean, too, as he's kind of been a 13th, 14th forward this season. But for him to get on the stat sheet early for the Rebels tonight, he's looking to be in the lineup more often than not moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, why not? There's some injuries to the forward core that UNLV is dealing with. So when you have the depth at blue line, or in the blue line, excuse me, where you can bring a defenseman up to play forward, one, that's a luxury I'm sure any team would wish they'd have. And two, might be another championship recipe.
Exactly. I'm
never
hoping
know.
so, Dom.
Now through center, McIntosh got tied up for a brief moment there as he tried to hop through traffic. That was Danilo Savivsky McIntosh was tied up with. That's gloved down at center by Karaman, who Steers it into the zone. Savinsky retrieves it. Now here come the Sun Devils on the right wing, moving on in, centering try. Wakeland gets all the way across the crease, and we have a delayed penalty, and no longer a delayed penalty. It's going to be on the Skating Rebels. Interference will be the call. And it looks like it's going to be on Brady Estabrook, the latest goal scorer for the Skating Rebels.
Big save from Wakeland there and a big hit by Estabrook. This draw is going to be important here, Dom. On the penalty kill, it's so paramount that you win your draws. If you can snap that draw back, clear it out of the zone, that kills 10, 15 seconds right there.
And once again, Brady Estabrook leaving UNLV shorthanded. 2 minutes for interference, so the Sun Devils getting their first look at the power play against UNLV this weekend. And rotten luck there for Matthew Gross as that rolls off of the blade of his stick. So, Bo, taking a look at the ASU power play so far this season, according to the ACHA website, 18 from 106, clicking at about 17% this season. They're 5 of 42, clicking at about 12%. As there's another big time hit. That time it was on Matthew Gross as he gained the zone.
Right, and you're looking to have a power play that's humming at about 20%. If you can get to that threshold, that's a good number. And when you're playing in the WCHL and you're playing against a lot of good hockey teams, it's not easy to score power play goals. They're coming at a premium, so.
And here comes a chance for UNLV for a brief moment. Oliver Band was in on the forecheck with an active stick in the neutral zone. Poking away at that puck. And now already a minute elapsed on the Arizona State man advantage. Still not a single shot on goal. They're set up on the left half wall. Now up to the point. Rink wide feed and a drive. Pad save made by Wakeland, and that gets sent out of the zone. That was a good chance early for Ty Marchand.
Great chance, Dom. And the Rebels looks like their penalty kills a little more laid back, so it's easier for that Arizona State team to find those seams, and it's tough whether you want to be aggressive or a little more laid back. I mean, there's advantages to both, but so far so good here through the first minute 40.
Now here's Marchand up top. Back up top, Marchand to the left circle. That's cut off by Asher Weitz, and now here comes Weitz, the defenseman, as the penalty expires. To Kelly, he shoots, he scores! Mason Kelly, shorthanded goal for the Skating Rebels, and UNLV leads 3-0.
Great shot by Kelly there, and a selfless pass from Asher Weitz as Kelly finds the back of the net, and that is a dagger for the Sun Devils as you give up a shorthanded goal.
And I mean, that's basically the polar opposite, Bo, of what happened on the last 2-on-1. The first one, you hit shoot, or you decide to shoot with Estabrook, and here you go. There's White's rink-wide feed for Kelly. Snipe, and we have a goaltending change early in the opening 10.5 minutes and some change.
That we do, Dom, and it looks like Hayden Manning is coming in tonight for the Sun Devils. So we have a little TV timeout here.
So Arizona State takes a timeout to talk things over, and I mean, I don't blame them. Cody Creasy with an absolute rotten night so far. 3 goals on 6 shots in 10.5 minutes. And I mean, of the last one's a shorthanded goal. I'm a firm believer it takes 5 mistakes in front of the goalie to give up a goal, and like that, those are the people you should look at first, especially on that 2-on-1. But I mean, now, regardless, 3 goals on 6 shots in just over 10.5 minutes is not a good look.
No, it's not. I would say 2 out of the 3 goals were good goals. Maybe one of them was a little bit soft, but I mean, you look back to Sean Kierman's goal. He's wide open in the slot and has a great look.
Yeah.
You look to Estabrook's goal, coming off the drive. Might want that one back, but that third goal, 2-on-1, there's not much he can do.
Exactly. And I mean, 2-on-1 as a goaltender, even as a defenseman, Bo, it's kind of like, all right, do we pick the puck carrier? Do we pick the passing option? And do we stick in the shooting lane and just pray? Or what do we do here? So,
exactly.
UNLV back to full strength, and they're or they were for a moment in the offensive zone, getting a possession going. So once again, Mason Kelly, the goal scorer, shorthanded. A few moments ago, that last goal chasing Cody Creasy out of the net for the Sun Devils, giving up 3 goals on 6 shots in just over 10.5 minutes.
So far, the Rebels have just been capitalizing on ASU's mistakes.
And they're set up shop in the offensive zone. Backel with a drive off the side of the cage. Luke Backel trying to find the net, back of the net rather, for the 4th time tonight for the Skating Rebels. Gross is trying to get the goal stick back to Hayden Manning, and he finally has a chance to get it back. Here's Cross trying to feed one or rake wide, doesn't get there, and Nagra has it and finds it in his skates, and he'll survey the ice from behind his own cage. And what an opening sequence for Hayden Manning, Bo. Coming into a game basically cold just after halfway into the first, and you're already facing a team snapping it around the zone. Here they come again. Tristan Rand with speed, misses wide on the blocker side. And that gets sent off the wall and up to the blue line and gets knifed to neutral ice, and Strong settles it down. And that gets directed up into the neutral zone again, and UNLV will just take it behind their own net and try and get a controlled breakout. But man, Bo, once again, I can't even imagine how Hayden Manning is feeling coming into a game and just facing that kind of offensive zone pressure off the rip.
Right, yeah, he's been able to weather the storm a little bit here, even after losing his stick. And I feel like whenever a goaltender loses his stick, it normally ends up in the back of the net. So good for the Sun Devils there to dodge a bullet, and we play on.
And now here comes Rand again, late offsides and a cross check, and some more pushing and shoving, and everyone will part their separate ways. So that was the chase. We gave a little love tap to the nameplate of Tristan Rand as he was on the ice. And Cade Olsen had a glove to the face of Tristan Rand when he got up. And DeVilliers now dips it off to the right wing. Shot from a sharp angle. Save made by Wakeland, and he holds. And we have some more pushing and shoving. Some punches being thrown here. That's White's mixing it up with DeVilliers, and Squeary mixing it up with Kuntz behind the net. So Arizona State resorting to a bit more physicality after the whistles to maybe get their bench some life, Bo.
Yeah, maybe just trying to throw the Rebels off their game a little bit. And it looks like number 2 there was giving Dylan Kuntz a hard time, and Kuntz is not a guy I'd want to mess with. I think he's got his number.
And I mean, those like rabbit punches with the jersey are pretty annoying.
They are.
Worse with a cage or a visor?
Visor.
That's fair. Might get a little chafe from the glove material
100%.
or the jersey.
Nobody wants a stinky mitt in your face.
And we'll play on. There's Johnson down low. Tied up by Marchand. And Marchand and Johnson jousting in the corner there. And Olsen sends it off the wall and down the length of the ice for an icing.
I like the grit that Bryce Johnson just showed there, winning that puck battle, kicking it low behind the nets. Didn't retaliate back to the cross checks that he was receiving. Bryce, he's a big man. He's 6'3", and for him to be able to do some of the stuff he does down low in front of the net is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. We saw him right in front of a broadcast booth. Like you said, he didn't retaliate. All he did was just strap his cage back up and go get changed.
Play on.
Second guy gets caught.
Every time.
DeVilliers under pressure from Jensen, who falls to the ice for a brief moment. Arizona State getting some fresh legs on. We got a cross check to the back of Gordon. It looks like he's back up, no worse for wear. He nearly went kisser first into the kick plate. So 5:59 to go. We hit our first TV timeout of the night. UNLV leads 3-0. Shots are 8-2 14 minutes into this Midnight Madness game. We're going to step away for a brief moment. We'll be right back.
Vince Sapienza here with Fox 5 and the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Make sure you check out my show, Hockey in the Desert Weekly, the only show that highlights your 2025 ACHA National Champion Skating Rebels. From weekly highlights to features on players and staff, I sit down with a member of the Scarlet and Gray each and every week, so make sure you tune in to Hockey in the Desert Weekly every Wednesday at midnight right here on Fox 5 and throughout the week on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network.
All right, that was Vince Sapienza of Fox 5 Las Vegas promoting Hockey in the Desert Weekly, the only local TV show covering the 2025 national champion UNLV Skating Rebels and other hockey activities here in Las Vegas, Nevada that can be found on YouTube, on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network, or on the channel of the same name, Channel 5.2, Wednesdays at midnight.
Yeah, Vince does such a great job of promoting the Rebels and promoting the game of hockey here in Nevada. It's been cool to watch.
And Sapienza's kids are in the hockey system here in Las Vegas. He's a big fan, and even a couple of years ago, Bo, he did one of the strength tests that you guys do, and he was pretty gas.
I can imagine. Yeah, that bike test left me on the floor for about 30 minutes.
Evan West actually showed me the bike test too, and I was about dead. Shouldn't be surprised whenever I put my gear on to do a stick and puck. I'm winded just tying my skates, so
right,
maybe I need to start hitting the treadmill a little bit more. and the wind sprints on the bike for sure.
Yeah.
So 5.5 to go. Once again, UNLV up 3-0. Chasing the starting netminder for ASU, Cody Creasy out just 10.5 minutes in. Now here's UNLV again. There's Estabrook to Kelly. He shakes outside and plays it up on the backhand for Dagra. And now Wyatt feeds one towards the net. Save made. And Manning will hold for a whistle.
Yeah, it looked like there could have been a little bit of a hold there on Estabrook as he was entering the zone, but I don't think the refs are going to be calling too many penalties against the Sun Devils tonight unless they're blatant. So it's going to be important for the boys to stay disciplined here down the stretch in the last 4 minutes of this period, last 5 minutes of this period.
Shots are 9-2 in favor of UNLV. 5:07 in counting to go. Here's Kuntz at the point to White, C-to-D. He fires off the shin pad of Gross. And now Johnson plays it down low, and now Gross with it again, off the wall and sent back in. And that's a big collision in behind the net. That was Johnson colliding with Chase, who sends down the length of the ice. It skips on net for Wakeland, and it'll hold for a whistle. 4:36 to go. So breaking down the goal scoring here for a moment. Mason Kelly, the latest goal scorer. Brady Estabrook, the second goal scorer of the night. And opening the scoring was Sean Caravan. Once again, Kelly was shorthanded. A pair of seconds remained on the UNLV penalty kill, and that was a minor penalty for interference on Brady Estabrook. And now here comes UNLV coming the other way. That's Masick. He sweeps it onto the right wing for Backel, but that gets stopped by Kylie Ram immediately. UNLV back with it. They tag up. Here's Masick on the left wing. He looks from the top of the circle. He gets that poked off his stick by Olsen, and the captain of the Sun Devils steers it out of the zone as ASU gets a fresh forward line out there. Now here's Dylan Ford through the neutral zone, sends across corner, and he'll retreat back to his post at the point. Olsen rims it around the wall, and Cooch flips it off the wall and out of play for a whistle. 3:45 to go.
Dylan Ford showcasing his wheels there as he almost went end-to-end for the Rebels.
Yeah, I mean, he's a senior this year, so why not go coast to coast for a goal?
Why not? Last midnight game here at City National Arena for Ford. So hopefully he can get on the score sheet tonight.
Let's give it a try. Now Gross. It gets directed away by Ford. Here's Strong on the right wing now. Pulls up at the half wall. Strong looking on the tape. Ford. Top of left circle. He shoots, tipped on by Band, but Manning holds for a whistle. We got a little bit of extra with Oliver Band and Ben Chase exchanging a couple jabs.
Yeah, good opportunity there for the Rebels as Ford is able to get that one to the net. I think it starts with Stronger there on the sidewall. He cuts back up, uses his patience. He finds the high guy, D to D, pucks on net.
I mean, that's textbook when you get stopped up at the half wall, Bo. I mean, you're usually told to move your feet, but when you can't, keep the puck moving at least.
Right, and Caleb's so good at that. He has some of the best patience I've ever seen or I've ever played with a guy, and it's really cool to watch, just the way he's able to slow the game down and use that to his advantage.
I mean, you just saw there at the blue line, it was whistle blown dead for a high stick, but some pretty impressive hand-eye coordination. That was basically in line with his shoulders a little bit more because the high stick call, but able to knock down that clearing attempt at the blue line is really impressive, just as you were singing his praises.
Yeah, good hand-eye from him there, and he's such a skilled player. I'm happy for Stronger. He's having a good season.
Caleb Strong, another senior. They've seen the program through a lot of ups and downs. Came in the fall of 2022. He saw a disappointing run to nationals in the 2023 tournament out in Massachusetts. And then heartbreak in the national championship game against Adrian College in 2024. And then finally reaching the top of the mountain in 2025, taking down Adrian and getting it back in blood, winning the program's first national championship. And now with just a handful of games remaining in this regular season, Strong and the rest of his crew will obviously look to do it again. But they got to get through ASU this weekend first.
That's right, Dom. And when it comes to that time of the year, nationals, it's one and done. It's run and gun, and if you're not ready to roll from puck drop, it's really tough to win those hockey games.
And it was similar. I mean, that's what it felt like in 2023. I mean, they got bounced by Liberty that year, one of the program's biggest rivals in the Flames. And I mean, even against Grand Valley State in that opening game, they were just behind the 8 ball for a moment, and they finally did come back. Caleb Strong had a pair of big goals in that national tournament game to really will the Skating Rebels to that victory. But once again, Liberty got the best of the Skating Rebels, and that was back-to-back, really, as that got directed off the turnbuckle there.
Heads up.
Back-to-back occurrences, Bo. I mean, 2022, they blew a 3-1 lead to UCO in the semis, and then 2023, the loss to Liberty as ASU ices a puck with just under a minute and a half to go in this first period. 2024, you finally get to the national championship game. You run out of gas. But all that experience culminated in March of 2025 when they won that title.
Yeah, it did, Dom, and I think it's important to have those bumps in the road along the way. You grow as a team, you grow as an organization, and credit to UCO and Liberty. They're both great hockey clubs, and the last couple of years we've been able to get the better of them, so hopefully we can do that again this year if we see them in the national tournament.
And Liberty is a program that I miss UNLV playing more often. It was always fun games against the Flames, especially when UNLV would go to LaHaye, Virginia, or Lynchburg, and go to LaHaye Ice Center. And that rink was always rocking. The program has such well-run broadcast, well-oiled machine. Their jerseys, phenomenal. The navy blue, red, and light blue accents, the cream flame script, phenomenal.
Yeah, they're the real deal, and like I said, a great hockey club, and that's such a cool barn to play in. I unfortunately never experienced that, but just watching the Rebels in the past years go there and have some good luck along the way too, it was fun to watch.
And now here comes Arizona State with under a minute to go. A partial 3-on-2 here, and that doesn't make it on net, and it's poked away there by Backel. And now here come the Rebels the other way. Luke Backel on the right wing. He surveys down low, tries to feed it up to the goal mouth, but doesn't get there. Chase plays it off the wall. And now Carollo down low, Backel. Backel looking. And now Carollo with it, plays it down low. Masick now with under 20 seconds to go. Here's Gordon. Up top, Carollo. Off the skate of Gordon, down low. Backel finds it, tries to turn it back on. It gets tipped up in the air under 10 seconds to go. Gross steers it out. And Cooch plays it further down the length of the ice. And the final seconds come off the clock here at City National Arena. 3-0 is your score through 20 in favor of the Skating Rebels. And an explosive first period of play for UNLV. Once again, leading 3-0, a shorthanded goal. And here's how we got there. Bryce Johnson, low to high play to Sean Kerriman to open up the scoring for the Skating Rebels. And then next up, here's Brady Estabrook, 2-on-1. Far side snipe to make it 2-0 in favor of UNLV. And the latest goal, shorthanded. Asher White's pass on the 2-on-1. Kelly with the snipe to chase Cody Creasy out of the net. So once again, 3-0 is your score through 20 minutes. Stay with us, stay awake, I hope so. More UNLV and ASU coming up.
redshirt forward Sean Kerriman opened up the scoring here on Midnight. Just talk to me what you saw out there.
I saw a group of 5 working together, trying to do everything right, starting in the D zone and getting rewarded for it at the end of the shift with a lucky bounce.
And then, you guys kind of came out really fast, sprung 3 goals on them. Was that kind of the message going into this game?
Yeah, I think when we play our game and we're playing fast, I don't think there's many better teams in this league, and we did that tonight, and our goal is to just keep that going. Speed's always the message.
And then obviously Midnight Madness in front of this crowd. How does it feel?
Feels great. Love it when our student body comes out and supports us. There's no better feeling in front of, other than playing in front of kids your age. It's the best.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bo, we'll send it on over to you.
Thank you, Sparrow. Well, the Rebels got things rolling early in that period. Credit to Sean Kerriman, who was able to find the back of the net early for the Rebels, and then Brady Esterbrook answered not long after. Asher White's made a good jump there in the defensive zone on the penalty kill, who he ended up dishing to Mason Kelly to find the back of the net here. So it's going to be important for the Rebels to keep things rolling here the next 40. We'll send it back over to you, Dom.
Thank you, Bo. Thank you all for sticking with us if you stuck with us so far tonight. 12:55 a.m. local time. Shots are 11-2 in favor of UNLV. A lopsided first period. UNLV got to keep it rolling here in the middle frame. ASU, you got to shoot the puck. You got to get cleaner zone entries. Once again, Mason Kelly, the latest goal scorer for the Skating Rebels. It's starting to kind of look similar to a route, Bo. I don't know if I jinxed it, but Team USA in the Olympics over in Milan Cortina beating Latvia earlier yesterday, 5-1.
Right, yeah, Dom, that was such a convincing win for the Americans. And as a dual citizen, I side with Team Canada. I know I might catch a little bit of heat.
Team Canada shirts tonight.
Yeah,
you haven't unzipped the Lululemon jacket.
I was planning on showing that a little bit later tonight, but it's just so fun to watch the best players in the world compete for their country again. It's been
after 12 years.
12 years.
Sochi 2014.
Can you remind me who won gold that year?
Oh, I don't even know. Was it Canada?
It was Canada, yeah.
Who? I know Chris Kunitz had a goal that game. I believe it was against Sweden.
I say I'm Canadian. I'm a Canada fan. I should know this. I don't.
I mean, everyone knows the golden goal.
Right.
In Vancouver, Sidney Crosby, 2010. Everyone knows that one.
Right. That was so cool to watch.
But every hockey fan remembers TJ Sochi.
That was also really cool to watch.
That was insane.
I remember sitting in my living room watching that thinking, is he going again? Is he going again? Sure enough, he was able to slide it past Bobrovsky a number of times and move the Americans on to the next one.
Man, an insane run for TJ Oshie. He ended up getting a Stanley Cup later on in his career, just 4 years later with the Capitals here in Vegas against the Golden Knights. Washington winning that series in 5 games.
Wow. Yeah, now he's transitioned to what we're doing here. He's in the booth with ESPN.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a fun transition to have. You know what I mean? You're doing it. I'm sure you're having a good time.
I am, yeah. It keeps you in the game, doing what you love, talking about what you love, and it's cool to see TJ Oshie and a number of other players doing that.
And now Kylie Ram shoots one. It goes off the mask of Wakeland. So they're already getting the key. That was left for us. Going there, 3 shots in maybe 15, 20 seconds. One ringing off of Wakeland's mask.
Yeah, good start for the Sun Devils here. It looks like they caught the Rebels sleeping here off puck drop, but it's going to be important here for the Rebels to respond now. What are you going to do in your own end? Are you going to take care of the puck? Are you going to get it out cleanly? If so, you're going to be okay. If not, Sun Devils are going to be right back in this game.
I mean, it takes 1 goal. And then all of a sudden your team has life. A 3-0 game can change ever so quickly. A 3-goal lead can evaporate in just a handful of minutes as we have an offsides call. I mean, we've seen that numerous times. The Vegas Golden Knights sticking on that train. We've been talking about the Stanley Cup win, but the year after they lost the Stanley Cup final to the Capitals, you had that Game 7 against San Jose in San Jose where they gave up 4 goals on a 5-minute major penalty kill late. And, I mean, they ended up tying the game. Jonathan Marchessault, who won the Conn Smythe a few years ago and is now in Nashville, might be trade bait as well, Bo.
He could be.
He tied the game late, but Barkley Gaudreau, Sharks legend, Rangers legend, Lightning legend, scored the overtime winner. Going around Marc-Andre Fleury's outstretched pad. Here's Gross firing, he scores! And there's that first goal, Bo, that could change the dynamic of a game. Matthew Gross breaking through for the Sun Devils.
Right, Dom, you can. And I don't know if we can maybe take a little bit of the blame there for the announcer jinx, if that's real or not. But a good play by Gross there to enter the zone and put a good one on net and just slid it right past Doug Wakeland. Good opportunity here. He sees he's got a little bit of time and space, waits, pulls it, shoots it, snaps it right past Doug Wakeland on the glove side. So important here for the Rebels to respond. How are you going to respond?
Definitely. I mean, it's definitely there could have been better back checking, I feel like, potentially there. But even on top of that, just a very well-placed shot from Matthew Gross, Bo. Just taking the ice that he had, the time and space that he had. He was patient and picked the corner on Doug Wakeland. I mean, that's just a great opening few minutes from Arizona State. They had those 3 shots. They eclipsed their shot total that they had in the first period in about 20 seconds. They've now doubled it in the opening 2.5 minutes of the second period.
Right, Dom. It's a little bit of life that was just given to the ASU bench here, and they're playing well right now. It's all ASU so far here for the first few minutes of the period, but it'll be interesting to see what plays out the rest of the period here.
UNLV trying to rally back from that goal against. That shot from a sharp angle gets shouldered away. We got a battle in front of the net as White takes it down low, fires one, kicked off the chest of Manning, and Massick's in the corner now with it. Down low, that's Massick. One-time try from Kuntz, stick save by Manning, and that gets chopped at and not out of the zone. Backel down low, he gets checked from behind hard, and Backel's down in a heap behind the net. And he's back up on one knee, so we're going to see.
Yeah, it's good to see him get up after that. That was a heavy blow he just took, and like we were just talking about, Dom, here's a good opportunity for the Rebels. How are you going to respond? They're going to put their power play unit out here. Looks like they got their first unit. So, well, the power play hasn't not been clicking maybe as well as they're hoping. It's going to be important here if they can get one in the back of the net.
So Arizona State's Luke Chase is going to be going to the box for boarding against Luke Backel. So now UNLV on the power play. And now here's Nagra to Mensch. Top of the circle as he shoots, and it gets kicked away. And now Nagra with it again. To Mensch, top of the right circle. It's high slot. He shoots, and it gets directed to the glass. Opening 30 seconds is gone for the UNLV power play. Back up top. Mensch with another drive. Blocked out in front. Little pitch and catch from Mensch and Nagra. Nagra up top again. He looks, tries to feed one through traffic. Knocked down in front and swept away from danger and gathered up by Mensch. And now back on the half wall. No worse for wear. Up top, Nagra from Mensch. And now here's Mensch with it again. Over to Nagra, top of the left circle. Down low. Swept around the wall almost by Strong. Now over a minute gone on the UNLV power play. Here's Mensch. High slot. He shoots. Rings it off the post. Mensch with another chance on this man advantage. He gathers it back up at the point. 40 seconds to go on the UNLV power play. Strong waiting with it. Nagra up top. He moves in. He pirouettes. Fires! Blocked in front. And ASU going to try and hustle to that puck. They can't get there. Band with it in the corner. From the corner. And can't get it to Backel. And it skips out of the zone. Arizona State getting fresh killers on. 20 seconds remain on the UNLV power play.
Yeah, pretty good showing from the Rebels there on that power play. They had a good amount of extended O-zone time having the man advantage there. And maybe when your power play is in a little bit of a slump, it's important just to simplify things. You want to get pucks on net, and the Rebels did that there.
We have some jawing after the whistle. Kate Olsen mixing it up. So 5 seconds remains on the Luke Chase boarding. Minor penalty. UNLV trying to get something going. Karaman in the face-off dot. Can't gain control. Now back to full strength. They're the Sun Devils. Here they come on the left wing. Now Karaman on the tape for Johnson. Now here's Bryce Johnson getting on his horse through neutral ice. And misplays the puck for a moment, and it gets sent back into the UNLV end. Gordon is there and puts the brakes on to evade traffic.
Smart play from Jackson Wyatt there to be able to recognize that the power play only has a few seconds left. So he recognizes that ASU has possession. He gets on his horse back, and he's able to defend the rush.
And now that's filtered on by Estabrook from the point. Tipped wide maybe by Johnson. Now Kuntz from the left wing half wall. He surveys, takes it down low. We have a bit of a mix-up in front. That's Ryder McIntosh getting tangled up with Matt Keeler, it looked like. And now here's Johnson down low from below the goal line. And we still have some mixing up with Keeler and McIntosh and some six go high. They're having a chat as they go back to their benches. They're still talking. And they'll go get changed up. So the temperature's starting to rise ever so slowly here at City National Arena. Now at 1:06 a.m. local time.
Yeah, good play by Dylan Kuntz there. As a defenseman, when you're taking on that rush, you either want to take the stick or you take the body. And right there, he took the stick and he got the puck knocked off. And he was able to make the play, and Rebels exited the zone cleanly.
And Bo Dylan Kuntz, another player that's emerged on the back end for UNLV as a smooth, calming presence. Patient with the puck, makes a smart play. And we got Heath Mensch down in a heap there. Looked like he got sandwiched by a pair of Sun Devils players, and Cade Olsen looks like he's doubled over a little bit, labored.
Yeah, Kuntz is a big presence there on the back end. He, like you said, he makes the right plays, and he's a big part of why the Rebels have had success this season.
And now here is Arizona State swinging a miss and played in deep. It was Brennan Kazel. And a big collision in the corner. Ford goes to the ice. And another couple players go to the ice, and now UNLV takes it. It's a 4-on-2 the other way. Out to Mensch. Down the ringside feed. Oh, my goodness. That doesn't look like it got on net. That was Backle Park to the left circle. Rare 4-on-2. I don't think I've ever seen that in real life. Here's Newland moving on in. Blocker save made by Wakeland. What a sequence between these two teams. As Rand gives chase to that puck in neutral ice, he gains a rink-wide feed up in the midsection of Strong. Pace of play is picking up here at City National Arena. There's Rand with it. Rink-wide feed into the skates. Fed to the goal mouth. Loose puck gets directed away from danger by the Sun Devils, and it gets played off the wall and into neutral ice. And what a play by Newland to play that to the open ice around Jackson Wyatt. Now here's UNLV 3-on-2. There's Strong. Rink-wide feed knocked off the stick of Rand. He takes a big-time hit and spins it to the open ice. Take a hit to try and make a play there, Tristan Rand. And now UNLV cutting that breakout pass off, but Arizona State back with it. That's Marchand. This puck gets deflected wide, and he gets bumped to the end boards by Niagara. Now here comes Jensen on the left wing boards. Dylan Jensen takes a bump and gets it in deep. Estabrook can't play the puck for a moment. Kelly back out there. This line has 2 goals already tonight. Kelly and Estabrook, the respective goal scorers. And there's a few points on the ice right now for UNLV, counting the 2 goal scorers. Asher Wright's also with a point in this game tonight. And there he is with the puck. He'll turn it up ice on the right side. He cuts to the middle, go over the red line, and he gains his zone and cuts out left from the left wing dot. He plays it through the slot. And now Estabrook off the kick plate softly for Jensen. Jensen now in the right wing corner. He plays it around the kick plate. And Kuntz taps that one back into the zone. UNLV getting a few fresh legs back on. And one of those is Karaman. He opened the scorings tonight. He keeps the zone. And he drops it off for McIntosh. Rink wide feed. Up top Carollo from Gordon. He fires and misses high and wide. And now settled down by Karaman at the point. He fires from the point, and it's save made by Manning. That got through all the bodies in front, and Carollo's back in his own end to retrieve it. And now here's McIntosh. He dances out to the right wing. Toe drag through traffic. Down below the goal line, and McIntosh with it. On the tape for Gordon. He fires from the point and misses wide. And that kicks out to the half wall. And Gordon goes point to keep the zone and spins it down low for Johnson. But it gets whacked out of the zone. And Gordon hustles back in his own end and gains possession and can't spin it up on the wall. But he gets it out of the zone anyways. Here's Backel. Backel on the left wing. He cuts outside. He's trying to get body possession, trying to feed it out in front, but can't get it to any of his teammates. And now here's McIntosh going for a skate, trying to dance through traffic. He can, and now here comes Kylie Ram. Kylie Ram on the right wing. Drop pass, one-time drive. Save made Wakeland. Another chance. They're trying to go for it. Wow. Choked on my words for a moment there, Bo, but what a save by Doug Wakeland there. Down and out, swimming in the white paint, not even the blue paint, and he just sprawls out to keep that puck out.
Yeah, and a timely save there from Doug Wakeland as he keeps it a 2-goal game here for the Rebels. And that past stretch there, it looks like the Rebels maybe tilted the ice back in their favor after ASU got off to a hot start.
You're getting another look at the sequence. Man, Doug Wakeland swimming, turns, and what a stop by Wakeland. Oh, my goodness.
Highlight reel save there from Doug Wakeland.
Highlight reel save indeed, Bo, from Doug Wakeland. You know, we were going to take immediate timeout, but I think that's just fine right there. I think that's just fine.
Yeah, Dougie, another dual citizen. That was like Bennington or Hallebuck today for the Americans and the Canadians. So good to see Dougie kicking between the pipes tonight.
Yeah, you got the stick tap on the pads from Backel at the tail end of that replay there. Man, that might have been the first time I've gotten caught on my words in a long time. That was just madness.
That was a beautiful save.
And that is the difference right now. I mean, that's the difference between a 2-goal advantage and a 1-goal advantage as of right now for the Skating Rebels. And that was such an extended sequence. You touched on it for a moment. I felt like I was talking for 15 hours.
Are you good now? You took a breath. You're dialed back in?
Yeah, I tried. I might need to get a drink of water here at the intermission. Gotta keep the pipes clean. Here's Butler, rink wide feed. What a save by Doug Wakeland! Oh my goodness, Wakeland lurching across the crease. Full splits and getting a pad on that one. Oh my goodness. Doug Wakeland. What a sequence for the Rebels netminder. Here's another look.
Another look at it. One-timer pass, slides across the crease, kicks that pad out, and is able to swallow it up.
What a sequence for Wakeland. What a pair of saves from the UNLV netminder. I mean, those two saves, that's the difference between a 3-1 game and a 3-3 hockey game at this point. Oh, man. Save of the year candidates?
It's up there. It's up there for sure. We're going to have to send that in to somebody.
Hockey House Podcast, if you're watching, make sure to clip those. Don't clip the first one, or if you do, mute the audio. I don't want my awful call getting out there, but
Oh, come on. Don't sell yourself short.
the second one is good. The second one's good. I'll even put the second one above the first one, just save-wise.
Those are two crazy saves.
Even though I shouldn't. I mean, when you're out in the white paint, out of your crease, on your belly, and you get the arm and the paddle down to make the save and keep the puck out. I mean, or at least not even keep the puck out, just keep the puck from going low to high when you're out of position like that.
Right, and frankly, Dom, I'm not surprised Dougie made those two saves either. It's so important to have a good goaltender on your team, and the Rebels have to give Doug Wakeland a few more stick taps there because he's keeping him in it here
Maybe
in
a
the
steak?
second period. Yeah, steak or a sleeve of golf balls. I know he likes to golf, so.
Yeah, heard he's a good golfer.
He is a good golfer, yeah. Funny you say that. He was giving a few of the boys some chipping lessons earlier in the year. I think I could maybe use one or two of those lessons from
He's
Doug.
got soft hands.
Great hands, yep.
Is it what's his flop game like?
Good.
Great flop game?
Right, I've played with him a few times, and he tips it out. He's part of the PGM program.
Oh, that's not a surprise then.
Right, yeah, it's 70s or bust for Doug, and I haven't seen him bust.
Now here's Kelly fires, and that's a save by Manning, who looks like he's settled in since coming in to the game for relief of Cody Creasy in the about midway point of the first period. So, I mean, you'd say that Doug Wakeland's a regular Phil Mickelson in a way.
If he was lefty, I would say, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the goaltender there for ASU, Manning, has done a good job of weathering the storm here. He had some tough saves to make there in the first period, but he's battled through them, and he's kept the Sun Devils in it.
And he finds it again, and some sticks come up, and here we go, and oh my goodness, Ford sends his man to the ice, and we got a little bit more extracurriculars on the far side. That was Squarey and Estabrook. De Villiers got sent to the ice hard by Dylan Ford there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he did, and Dylan Ford, another guy that I would not want to tangle with.
And Dylan Ford, we mentioned in the open, got tangled up with Hunter Friesen last year. Here's another look at it. There's no Skating Rebels being sent, and you got Ford sending De Villiers to the ice, and Estabrook tangled up with Squarey on the far end, and Squarey went high on Estabrook for a moment there. Estabrook keeping a cool head there, and we'll play on. There's Estabrook driving the net and can't get it to the goal mouth, and that gets sent out of the zone. So once again, the temperature rising ever so slowly here at City National Arena. Might have been the biggest dust up of the night so far.
Yeah, I think so too, Dom, and I like how the refs let that one go. That's going to happen in hockey. And when there's penalties called, you want to make sure they're going both ways. And, you know, as a fan, I like to see that one go uncalled and we play on.
And I mean, as a player, maybe not. Oh, and a big hit there. It's McIntosh who got tattooed on the bench. And he got tattooed again at the scorer's table. McIntosh taking a couple hits there. But I mean, if you're ASU, you want those penalties called in that other sequence. I mean, especially if you're Connor Squarey. He left the ice a little shaken up. He's doubled over now on the Sun Devil bench. I'm going to hope he's doing okay after being tangled up with Estabrook. UNLV tagging up, but they can't get a clean zone entry, and that gets sent to the ice, or into the zone, excuse me. And Kerman gets bumped hard by De Villiers, and De Villiers looks like he got the worst end of that one, and the Rebels ice it. So De Villiers looking to get something back, and you see him there at the bottom of your screen kind of rotating his arm and looking a little bothered there. De Villiers rocking the yellow laces like Alex Ovechkin, the full sock tuck as well.
I like it, Dom. And going back to what you just said about not getting a clean zone entrance, it's important late in the games here when you get into the second half of a game, late in periods. You want to win those battles at the blue lines, and, you know, that could be make or break for your club. So moving forward here, I like to see cleaner zone exits and entries.
Another phenomenal save from Wakeland there. And he goes down there. Kylie Ram making contact, and DeVilliers going after Kuntz, and Kuntz taking on a pair of Sun Devils in his own end there. We'll play on after Wakeland took a spill. And now here's Rand moving on in, slicing through traffic. Pirouettes around the circle, turns one on into the glove of Hayden Manning. And hold for a whistle, 3:25 to go. Arizona State Bows really come to life in this middle period physically, and I mean on the scoreboard. I mean, they have a goal. They have exponentially more shots on goal than they did in the opening frame, and they frankly look a lot better.
Yeah, they do, Dom. And like you said, they got that early goal. They got things rolling right away there in the second period. And the Rebels have to give a lot of credit to Doug Wakeland. On the flip side, I like to see the Rebels take care of their own end a little bit better, not losing their assignments and giving up those big opportunities.
So we'll see if they can do just that. I mean, they're in the offensive zone now after a shot off right off the offensive zone draw. Leading to this next face-off in the O-zone. UNLV has possession off that face-off. And Gordon has that puck bounce off of his stick, and now here come the Sun Devils. Wakeland keeps it in play. Now Rand tries to snap it for Gordon in the middle of the ice, but not on the tape, but even 3 minutes to go as this faceoff comes all the way back.
Smart play from Caleb Strong there. He recognizes that his defenseman is in no man's land a little bit, and he drops back, and he almost plays like he's a defenseman there, and ASU wasn't able to get anything going. I think a lot of that goes to Caleb Strong for recognizing that he has to drop back and play D.
Now Arizona State off of the offensive zone draw, trying to get some sort of zone time going. Gordon from behind his own net plays it on the wing for Rand. And back in the middle of the ice, Gordon. Back up from one knee. Gordon down low, sweeps it towards the goal mouth, but it gets cleared to the blue line and settled down by Nagra. Now here's Strong going for a skate with it. He drops it off the blue line for Wyatt. He and Nagra now fed out in front. They score. What a feed from down low. Caleb Strong getting on the board. It's 4-1 Rebels.
What a feed. Yeah, you're right, Dom. What a look there. And Caleb's able to find that soft ice right in the slot. And just like Sean Kerriman's goal, he finds the back of the net.
I mean, that's a big goal for the Rebels, and what a play up top, both from the defenseman Nagra and Wyatt to switch that effectively.
Right, great keep from Nagra. Great pass from Jackson Wyatt. He takes ice, he cuts down low, he sees Caleb's waiting there. Nobody on him in the slot, and Stronger buries.
Perfect. He snapped it along the ice and had heat on it on the tape. And Jackson Wyatt extending his points lead on this team. A reminder, he entered this game with 26 assists on the season. And that's big for the Rebels to be able to reinforce their 3-goal lead over Arizona State. Late, here's Backel dancing through. He shoots into the glove of Manning. He'll hold for a whistle. An impressive display of the hands from Luke Backel there, Bo, through the neutral zone.
Yeah, it was dominant. It's so big scoring goals late in periods. It just really takes the wind out of the opposition's sails, and the Rebels were on the better end of that, and they got a minute 37 here to close things out. Make the smart, simple plays. Nothing too cute on the blue lines. You'll go into the second intermission with a 3-goal lead.
Had an air horn go off. I'm not sure what that was. Maybe the broadcast camera picked it up, but we'll play on. And here comes Arizona State. That rush dissipates after a brief moment.
I wouldn't mind a cowbell or two in City National Arena.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Loud, but
that would be cool.
Maybe we could sneak one in Midnight Madness.
DoorDash a cowbell.
Somebody's got to have one.
1 minute to go in the second period. We're almost out of here. It's pretty late already, 1:25 a.m. local time. By the time we break the whole broadcast setup down, get post-game interviews posted, we might be able to get some McDonald's breakfast as we have some pleasantries being exchanged in behind the play. Mason Kelly with Cross having a discussion. And it looks like Cross is going to go to his bench and Kelly's going to go to the box for a roughing call. So a late power play here for ASU, 39.6 to go. Kelly goes for a rough.
Yeah, moving back to what I said earlier in the broadcast, huge need to win this draw here, clear it out, kill 10-15 seconds, and then by then not much time left in the period for ASU to get anything going.
I mean, we know now it would be huge for Arizona State to, one, register a power play goal, but two, also score one this late to go into the second intermission. Rebound chance, all off the post, and they score! What an effort from Matthew Gross. Oh my goodness. Matthew Gross on the doorstep, rings it off the post. It comes back to him, and he baseball swings it out of the air.
Wow. We might have to send that one into Hockey House because that was beautiful.
Wow. So here's another look. We're going to cue that up for you here in a moment. Here it is, off the post, and that's legal. That's below the crossbar. What a display of hand-eye coordination from Matthew Gross, and he does just what we just mentioned. Being able to score on the power play this late going into the second intermission. You draw yourself to within 2. That's huge. And a goal like that, that'll give the boys juice going into the room, huh?
That's a huge momentum swing there for the Sun Devils, and unfortunate break for the Rebels. So that's why you need to stay out of the box late in periods and stay disciplined.
I'm still in awe of that goal from Matthew Gross. We'll make sure to show it again before we go to break here as the final few seconds come off the clock here at City National Arena. Another try, and it doesn't make it on net, and UNLV escapes the second with a 2-goal lead. And how we got there, we're going to show you the latest goal, an unreal display of hand-eye coordination from Matthew Gross. First on the rebound try off the post, then baseball swing. And that's a home run for Matthew Gross. UNLV leads 4-2 going into the second intermission of the midnight game. Stay with us another 20 minutes or more of late night hockey coming up.
Welcome back inside City National Arena, 4-2 UNLV. I'm here with forward Brady Esteban. Brady, you had a goal in the first period. What was kind of working for you? It kind of slowed down in the second period for you there.
I think what was working for us in the first is we came out hot. We kind of took it to them the first 10, and then the last time we slowed off, and going into intermission, we I don't know really what we're doing, but the second period wasn't good, and we got to start going here. So.
And then what is the message going into the third, trying to not get complacent and finish this game out strong?
Stop stretching the zone, D first, kind of stick to our system.
And then what can you say about goaltender Doug Wakeland making some big saves in that second period?
Yeah, I mean, he's great. He's great every night for us. He's doing his job. We got to do our job. So he definitely deserves better out of us. But yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
Ball will send it over to you.
Thank you, Kyle. Well, ASU got on the board late that period with a power play goal and kind of took the wind out of the Rebels' sails. Rebels have to give a lot of credit to goaltender Doug Wakeland as he made some huge saves here in this second period. So moving forward here, the Rebels are going to need to do a better job of taking care of their own end if they want to come out with a W in this game here at Midnight Madness. I'll send it back over to you, Dom.
Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Kyle, and thank you all who stuck with us here in the late night hours of the 12th, or if you want to say the early morning hours of the 13th. The third period set to get underway here at City National Arena. We're back underway, 1:45 a.m. local time, 4:45 a.m. for those of you on the East Coast, and for those of you in the upper northeast parts of Canada, it's a cool 5:45 in the morning, so the sun should be rising in a few moments for you guys. A chance for Estabrook. Save made. Another drive from Jensen, and it gets blocked away. UNLV not letting the early morning hours affect them in this third period of play. They're coming out humming.
They are, Dom, and that's exactly the start they needed here.
And now sent in by Estabrook. And around the wall, that's Marchant. And now that kicks out to Gross. Gross has a pair of goals already. His last one at Indy, a rebound that kicked off of the inside of the far post, and Gross knocked it out of midair and put it home. Maybe one of the most remarkable goals I've seen at City National Arena in my time calling games for this team, Bo.
Yeah, that was a beautiful one. I'm impressed. I don't know if he was a baseball player growing up or what, but he hit a homer there.
Yeah, for sure. It's not a single. It's not a double. It's not a ground out. Nothing like that.
Touch 'em all, Kirby Puckett.
Exactly. Here's Rand shooting one. Save made by Manning. And I mean, aside from that first goal against for Manning and the fourth goal against for Arizona State, Manning has been a very, very good presence in the blue paint for ASU.
Yeah, he stood tall, that's for sure. And the Rebels have had a lot of good scoring opportunities, too. And he's been there to shut them down.
And now here's Chase. He overskates the puck for a moment. Tonya is now with it. He plays it off the wall. And now here's Gordon. Gordon with it to back goal. Rink wide, and it gets cut off by Cooch. And now here's Masick in front, shooting one. Loose puck out in front of the goal, and Masick couldn't find it again. Manning was sprawled out on his backside there for a moment. Good clearance of the D zone by the Sun Devils there to keep their netminder out of trouble. Delayed offsides, the Rebels tag up, and that gets spun into the zone by McIntosh. A pair of Rebels are going to get changed up. Some fresh legs coming on for UNLV. Now here comes Quas to the middle of the ice for Cross, and he gets canceled out there by Kuntz. And now here they come the other way. There's Johnson on the left wing. He fires. It gets tipped away by Chase, and that gets sent right back into the zone. Chase finds it and plays it softly up ice. Karaman chops it off the glass, and it gets gloved down by Kuntz at the point and sent back in. Now here's Johnson behind the ASU cage. He spins away from pressure. Johnson looking now. And that's DDD for Kuntz, who sends it back into the zone, and it gets stopped up by the big goal stick of Manning. And now neutral ice, the Sun Devils are sending it into the zone, and they'll get changed up here. Nearly full sail changes for Arizona State. And now here comes Nagra. And that gets wheeled out of the zone. Jackson Wyatt back to find that one. Just over 4 minutes gone in this third period of play. UNLV still leads 4-2. The last goal in this contest was that aforementioned Matthew Gross baseball goal. Now here's Estabrook. Spoke to him in the intermission. That was Kyle Sparrow with him. Now here's Kelly. Estabrook firing one. Save made by Manning, and he'll hold for a whistle. And Bo, this line of Estabrook, Jensen, and Kelly has been humming all night long.
They have been, yeah. They've been doing a great job, Dom, and it's going to be key for the Rebels here just to keep things simple. Get the puck out of your end, and for the Sun Devils, it's going to be important to get some offense generated here, whether it's through the neutral zone, you're carrying it up, finding some ice there, getting pucks deep, and going to work.
We'll see if they can do off of this draw. They come away with possession here. Here's Rand. Back to Carollo. He fires from the point. Rebound try. Band shoots. Oh, and a save made by Manning again. Manning sprawling out, sealing the bottom of the net. Stuffing all over Band on the doorstep.
Beautiful save by Manning there. I think if he's ready for that one, I might have caught him off guard a little bit. He's got his stick on the ice there. That might find the back of the net if he's able to elevate it a little bit there, but not going to take away anything from Manning there as he's able to slide over and make the big save.
And once again, Manning proven to be a calming presence for this Sun Devils team. He's played exceptionally well since coming into the game of relief of Cody Creasy. And now here's UNLV with another chance. Rand fires, blocked in front by Gross. He's having a night. Here's Rand with it again, left circle. Now back over to Rand. It rolls off of his stick. That was a good attempt at a bang-bang play for Band and Rand. A low to high sequence. And now here they are again. That's Band. He fires and that misses the net wide.
Great passing play there from those two. For Oliver Band to be able to find Tristan Rand open in the slot like that, that's a heads-up play.
Now Marchant sends it down the length of the ice. And we got a stoppage of play. And it's going to be a penalty here. Looks like holding was a call, Bo. We're going to see who's going exactly.
Yeah, I didn't see it down there, Dom, but
like it's
the little part I did, it
be...
didn't look like it was much.
Looks like it's on Dylan Kuntz, and it is. So UNLV is going to be shorthanded here. And this is a huge power play, Bo, for Arizona State. I mean, you just had that goal late in the second period going into the second intermission, and now you have a really good chance here to draw within one.
Right, they kind of found a little bit of momentum there late in that second period, and it looked like the Rebels came out and they were the better team the first five. But like you said, Dom, great opportunity here to get this within one.
So interference is the call. Didn't have the greatest angle on the initial hand signal down in the corner on the far end of the ice, but we got it right. Kuntz for interference. And as we just mentioned, Bo, this is a huge power play for Arizona State to really get themselves back into this game. And the Sun Devils getting to work as that initial face-off win gave them a little bit of zone time, but
right, and a good opportunity for the Rebels to just be one step closer to closing this one out.
You got to watch 89 in black and gold, Matthew Gross, the leading point getter for Arizona State. He entered this game with 22 points, 8 goals on the year. Now he's ticked his goal total on the year up to double digits with 10. He's still behind the leading goal scorer and Jake King. King came into this one with 11 goals.
Yeah, and I'd like to see the Rebels not chase around too much here in the zone. That's what's really opens up the zone for ASU to find those seams. If you just kind of stack the house here, stay tight and compact down low, then it really doesn't give them a ton of opportunity. And it looks like Doug Wakeland's down.
Yeah, that's not a good sign at all. Wakeland down. Yeah, some shoving now. UNLV athletic training staff coming in to assist Wakeland. Wakeland has no mask. Going to cue up a replay for you of what exactly happened here. Wakeland's being attended to. Now he's in on one knee. Here it is, and yeah, the Wakeland just got cleaned out on the side of the goal there. Was it by his own player? We'll see if we can cue that back up for you. Was that his own player or not? Couldn't quite get a good look at it, but nonetheless, Wakeland's got the goal mask back on. He got checked and cleared by the athletic training staff. So Arizona State now has a penalty on the board. Matthew Gross is going to be going. So it's going to be 4-on-4 for minute 13, and then UNLV with an abbreviated 47-second power play after the 4-on-4 period ends.
Yeah, an advantage Rebels here. I think with their speed through the ice, up through the middle of the ice, it really gives them an opportunity to spread things out and to find those seams. And we just want to be careful here and not take too many crazy chances as we're getting to the later part of this game, and just make the right decisions.
Here's Nagra looking. He takes it down low, spun up top, and no one home. And now Butler trying to start it out, harassed by Band. Now here's King. King through center, the leading goal scorer for the Sun Devils, 11 goals on the year. He already has a pair of points. Loose puck out in front. Wakeland wasn't in the net. That was a good chance for a brief moment there for ASU, but UNLV coming away with possession. Here's Strong, who gains the zone. Caleb Strong sidesteps some pressure out the half wall, feeds it rink wide. It gets knocked away, but settled down by Rand. It was a good defensive stick by DeVilliers. He ties Rand up at the scorer's table, but he escapes pressure. So UNLV killing off a Dylan Kuntz minor penalty. Now they're on the power play for about 45 seconds and counting. There's Rand. Seam pass goes right past the ear of Charlie Masick, and now here comes a 2-on-2 the other way, shorthanded for Arizona State. Drive to the net, putting one on it tight, and Wakeland gets hit again, and the net comes off of its moorings. And Nagra has something to say about it as he guides his man into the end boards.
Looks like another goaltender interference call there against
Trevor
the Sun
Kennedy.
Devils. And it's going to really open things up here for the Rebels as we got 12:24 here left in this third period. You're going to have a two-man advantage for the next 32 seconds. So I think you just keep the power play simple, snap it around east to west, north to south, get pucks through.
Try and get them moving.
There you go.
All right, once again, 5-on-3 for 32 seconds. And UNLV with a big chance to extend their lead and maybe restore their 3-goal lead. Here's Nagra and Mensch pitch and catch at the circles. They'll rotate Mensch down low, Backel. Up top, Nagra, touched on, Strong with a drive, and he misses it wide, and it goes up into the protective netting. Not sure if it stayed in play or if it got stuck. Might have stayed in play. Didn't have eyes on it.
Ton of ice up for grabs here with the two-man advantage. So,
oh, the puck is stuck, actually. It's stuck in play, but inside the netting, like right next to the door on our side. So that's interesting. We'll see if anyone gets that. A lucky person will get that game-used UNLV puck. And now we play on under 10 seconds to go in the 5-on-3 period. Down low, Backel, he looks, Nagra, Backel with a drive off the side of the cage. Now there's one man back for Arizona State, a power play for UNLV for about 1:20. Here's Backel, top of the circle, so strong with a drive, big time save by Manning. Now here's Backel with it, 1:10 to go on the power play for the Rebels. Pitch and catch, strong and Mensch. Now Nagra, top of the left circle, gives and goes. Nagra with a drive, glove save, rebound try. It gets tied up, and the net comes off its moorings, and Devin Nagra a bit frustrated there. He had a great chance, Bo, on the power play, plenty of time and space, but couldn't beat the trapper of Manning.
Right, I think Manning and the Sun Devils can thank the net coming off right there, because it looks like the Rebels had a lot of good O-zone time there, and they were able to find some chances on the power play.
So the faceoff's going to go out to the right wing. And Bryce Johnson disagreed with that for a moment. He was pointing to the left wing side, but it will, in fact, go out to the left of Hayden Manning, who's, as we've said multiple times, played remarkably since coming into the game in the middle of the first period after ASU gave up those opening 3 goals. And now with under a minute to go, another save, Manning, gloved down by Masick. And now here's Jackson Wyatt skating the line. D-to-D, get Dylan Gordon. And now here's Wyatt again. Jackson Wyatt up top, under 40 seconds to go. On the backhand, Gordon on the left wing half wall. Gordon now snaps it over to Johnson. Return pass on the tape to Gordon. Pitch and catch with Johnson. And now here's Rand going for a skate. He gets chopped down. He will play on. And now here's Gordon to Wyatt. He shoots from the high slot. Tips just wide of the net. Under 20 seconds to go now on the UNLV man advantage. Chopped at by Johnson down low. It's a foot race for Gross and Rand. And Rand wins that puck battle. ASU wanted a call. Under 10 seconds to go on the man advantage for the Rebels. Here's Johnson going for a skate. High slot, he shoots. Blocked in front. Another try. Skips through the blue paint. And now Arizona State in their own end. They're back to full strength. And Chase loses an edge in front of the goal. And Manning stops play. And he gives his man Chase a fist bump there. And Bo, I bet your heart drops out of your behind if you're trying to play the puck, just getting back to full strength, and you lose an edge right in front of your goaltender.
Yeah, unfortunate occurrence there, but I like the high slot tips there that the Rebels were able to generate. As a goaltender, those are so tough to save. It's going one way, and the next second it goes another. So credit to Manning there for making some big saves.
And now firing in the skates of Kelly. Another try for Estabrook. And Manning seals the bottom of the net once again. 9:59 to go here in this third period of play. UNLV still leads 4-2. 2:02 AM local. Now we get to do this all over again at a normal start time, 7 p.m. right here at City National Arena between Arizona State and UNLV. Going to be broadcasted at the same spot, the UNLV Hockey YouTube channel. Once again, 7 p.m. ASU and UNLV rounding out their season series and this weekend series at a normal time on Friday night. As that shot from the left wing goes wide, Arizona State getting a rush chance there for a brief moment. Might need a quadruple espresso to get going tomorrow night for the second game of the weekend between these two teams.
Big time, yeah. Throws the sleep schedule off for a lot of people, and
yeah,
looks like we got a penalty behind the play here, and the Rebels are going to be going.
It looks like Mason Kelly was tied up with Matthew Gross again. Kelly's talking to the bench the whole way, and he doesn't look too happy, so he's going to be sitting again. Is this going to be another roughing call on Kelly? The linesman talking to the bench. Oh, the penalty box door swings open for Arizona State, so Matthew Gross is going to sit as well. So a pair of penalties here. We're going to see what's officially posted. So 4-on-4 hockey again. Kelly's going to be posted for 2. Gross is posted for 2. Bo, got to assume that this is going to be roughing each.
I would assume so, Dom. I didn't see it really, but I saw both players on the ice, so we'll assume that's the call.
So this game was wide open early in the twilight hours of Friday, February 13th. And now it's the game's kind of tightened up a little bit and turned into a bit of a war of attrition. If you say that, who can survive the grind of this game? 2 minutes each for roughing are the calls, on Kelly and Gross. So 4-on-4 once again. With under 9 minutes to play in this third period of play, Jackson Wyatt going for a skate. He fires, blocked in front by Kazel. And that gets steered down low by King. And Marchant survives an onslaught of a forecheck from the Rebels there and gets it out to the neutral zone at least. And UNLV is going to have to try it again as Arizona State gets changed up. Now Johnson and Agra. He gets bumped by Marchant. Johnson finds it in the corner. He gets that poked away by Kylie Ram. Niagara down low to the slot. Backel fires, poked off of his stick by Tyler Kylie Ram. What a defensive effort. That was a prime scoring chance there. Backel came into the zone screaming with speed. That pass was on the tape in the slot, and Kylie Ram pokes it away and saves that scoring chance. Now here come the Sun Devils the other way. That puck gets sent cross corner, and now that gets played by Johnson, who catches an edge at the blue line, and that'll be a turnover against. And the Sun Devils can't get the cross-ice feed. Backel finds that loose puck, and he'll turn it up north. Here comes Backel to Johnson. Johnson sidesteps a hit. That was Tony as a big-time collision. Backel and Olsen come together, and Olsen giving Backel the business behind the net, and they keep jousting. And they're still jousting in front of the net. The captain and the freshman for UNLV. We play on, back to full strength. They're both teams. Here's Carollo. Down low, Carollo from the dot now to Oliver Band. Return pass, Carollo. Backel and Olsen still going at it in front of the net. Rand now plays it up top for Coots. D-to-D, Carollo, and Kate Olsen just went up high on Backel, cross-checked them. They're exchanging blows, and here they go. They grab each other's cage, and Backel, guys, in a headlock with Kate Olsen, and they turtle each other. Backel loses his bucket, and the linesmen step in to break this scrap up, and Backel, man, I mean, I'm surprised, Bo. The official in the corner saw that cross-check to the face mask clear as day, and no arm was raised on the official. So, I mean, one thing, good on Backel for standing up for himself, right? But it's also a 4-2 hockey game, so the officials, you realize the temperature is raising, you got to make some calls. Blow the whistle sooner and get the linesman in there.
100%. I feel like he missed a few cross-checks just a few seconds prior to that. So
here's another look at it. On the bottom of your screen, they got locked up in. There's the punch after the cross check, and then they get locked up, and Backel grabs the cage, and away they went.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the call is going to be here. It looks like 2 minutes.
2 minutes are posted each. I'm just surprised that no call was made on that cross check.
Me too, Dom. And honestly, when I was looking in that corner, I think when the cross-check was delivered, that's when the ref looked. It looked like he was looking the other way, so maybe
even the back official doesn't get it?
Well, it looked like the back official did call it.
this isn't even being a homer broadcast. It's kind of just the principle of, officiating a game. I'm just shocked that cross-check wasn't picked up earlier, unless it was.
And it looks like the penalty was taken off the board for the Rebels, so it looks like they're going on the man advantage here.
If it was a 2 and a 10, they wouldn't be sitting in the box. I mean, the doors are coming open, so did they get a 2 and a 10? And maybe. Doesn't look like it. Kate Olson is the only one posted. Well, it says 14. And there's no 14 on Arizona State. So I believe that might just be a bug. So Kate Olson should be posted for 2 minutes. So maybe they got offsetting minor penalties for roughing, and Kate Olson got an extra 2 for the cross-check. Correct. So Kate Olson, 2 minutes for a cross-check. Backel and Olson each get 2 for roughing. Those penalties offset. So UNLV goes on the power play from the cross-checking minor. So my soapbox about not getting the cross-check is, in fact, in vain.
Right. Well, I give a lot of credit to Luke Backel there for not retaliating harder than he did, because he was taking a lot of blows. And for him to wear those on the chin and keep going and give your team
keep battling in front of the net.
Right, give your team a power play here in the last 6 minutes of the game. Rebels could put this one away.
And they have a great chance to do so on the power play with just about 6 minutes to go in the third period of play here in this midnight game.
What a keep by Sean Kerriman at the blue line.
Fed out in front, Band on the backhand. Oh, he fans on the shot. Oliver Band on the doorstep. Just cannot get the backhand on that puck. Just sitting, waiting in the blue paint. He's going to have nightmares tonight about that one. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, tough play. Body going one way, puck
Maybe
going
have
the
another
other.
delayed penalty upcoming on Arizona State, and another shot from Mensch misses just wide. So that's touched up by Kennedy, and it's going to be another cross-checking minor on the Sun Devils. So UNLV 5-on-3 for the next 44 seconds with 5.5 to go in the third, and a 2-goal lead.
Exactly what you don't want to do for the Sun Devils, taking another penalty late in the game here, giving the Rebels a 2-man advantage. That'd be huge if they could kill it off.
I mean, they just need to convert on one. That's literally it. They need to convert one. Score 1 goal, and it makes it a little bit better.
Looks like the second unit's getting some time here. I don't even know if the Rebels do have a second unit with how deep our power play is, but with how skilled the top 10 players are. But
so we got Masick, Johnson, Rand, and Gordon out there with Jackson Wyatt. That penalty is going to be on Ty Marchant for cross-checking. 5-on-3 for about 35 seconds and counting here with under 5.5 to go in the third. Masick up top. Gordon with a drive. Blocked in front by a shin pad. And now Gordon plays it over for Wyatt. Jackson Wyatt to the half wall for Johnson. On the tape, Gordon at the top of the left wing circle. Now in the high slot for Wyatt to Johnson. Tries to feed it across crease, and he can't get there. So now here's Masick from the left wing circle to Gordon. Pitch and catch with Wyatt from the high slot. Move it on in. He shoots, tipped on, rebound out to the side of the cage. That's settled down by Johnson. He's looking from down low up top for Wyatt. ASU gets one man back. Wyatt with a drive off the cuff of the trapper of Manning, and it's a foot race, and Wakeland comes way out and plays it away from danger. Great effort from Doug Wakeland to keep the play moving and not face a breakaway, as that gets sent down the length of the ice by Savinsky with under a minute to go on the Marchant. Cross-checking minor. So UNLV with under 4.5 to go now. And now here's Strong. It's a band. He clears it to this open ice at the point. Nagra's there. 35 seconds and counting left on the power play. Nagra point to point for Strong. Strong now with a look to Nagra, top of the left circle. And Nagra pirouetting away from pressure. Niagara going for a skate to Strong, top of the right wing circle. Under 20 seconds to go on the power play now. Under 4 minutes to go in the third. That shot blockered away by Manning. Swept up top to Niagara. 10 seconds to go on the power play for the Rebels. Niagara skating the line to Strong on the tape of the right wing. Under 5 to go now. Strong on into the skates of Van. Back up top, Strong in the half wall. He looks, he fires into the chest of Manning. ASU survives a huge 5-on-3 penalty kill late.
Huge kill there. And it looked like the Rebels power play, a little too perimeter play for me. I mean, with the power play not firing tonight, really, you'd think you'd like to change it up a little bit. Maybe fire some more pucks on net, some low pad shots, maybe generate a few rebounds that could create some scoring opportunities. But big kill for ASU.
And that'll give you some momentum late here. I mean, you don't convert on the power play. One of the power plays gets washed out by a penalty that you took yourself, and then you come up with that big kill that gives you a little bit of energy here as we approach the final 3 minutes of the third. ASU's still very much in this game. Now that gets directed in. Jensen's in on that one. And we have a delayed penalty upcoming on the Skating Rebels, and they touch up. It's going to be Dylan Jensen for a high stick. He and Gross exchanged some pleasantries for a brief moment. So now Arizona State on the minute advantage off of that big 5-on-3 penalty kill.
Yeah, good opportunity here for the Sun Devils to get them back within one here, and it's going to be big here if the Rebels can win this draw. Get off on the right foot, kill a couple extra seconds here as we got 2:39 left in this third period. Tight one here at City National.
And Bo, as a player, as a defenseman, we have Arizona State pulling their goalie, Hayden Manning, to the bench. And I'll get to your thoughts in a moment. So 6-on-4, the extra attacker on for Arizona State in the final 2.5 minutes. On the power play, Dylan Jensen for UNLV going for a high stick, and that gets cleared out of the zone. It's a foot race, and Masick gets gapped, and it's going to be a delayed penalty. He scores, but it's blown dead immediately. He was offsides.
Yeah, tough break, but still good opportunity there for the Rebels. And I think that all started with Mason Kelly having a big block in the D zone there, and he's able to clear it out to Masick, who almost puts the icing on the cake.
Cue up the replay here. Yep, right there. He's offsides. Right there. Good hustle, but saw the arm raise immediately, and I knew it was like, all right, no. The arena did it. They didn't care. I mean, they probably haven't had as much caffeine as we've had tonight. It's pretty late already, 2:17 a.m. local time as Kelly fires another one, and Manning squeezes and holds, and it falls out of his paraphernalia there.
Right, Dom. Not often do I have caffeine after noon, let alone midnight, so it'll be interesting to see what that does to the sleep schedule here.
Melatonin. I actually might take some melatonin gummies when I get home, wake up at like 1 p.m. and then get right back at it tomorrow.
There you go.
And once again, we are back at it tomorrow. UNLV and ASU, 7 p.m. at City National Arena, rounding out the season series and this weekend's series. A normal puck drop after Midnight Madness tonight, and it was, in fact, mania here at City National Arena. A very fun game. We're in the final 2 minutes. Hayden Manning is back on the bench for the Sun Devils. So empty net once again for ASU as they continue to work on this power play. About 70 seconds to go on the man advantage for the Sun Devils. That shot misses just wide. And now the power play timer and the game clock matches up. UNLV is essentially killing off regulation here.
Big save there by Wakeland with 1:36 left here in this third period. And it looked like the Rebels were really packing the house there. So they're kind of leaving the outside of the zone open, which can work to their favor if there's not a seam pass they can give up. So Big draw here for Kelly. Hopefully he's able to snap this one back.
And it's tied up for a moment, but it looks like ASU briefly had possession. Once again, Hayden Manning still out of the net. Under a minute to go on the power play. A shot there gets blocked aside by Wakeland. And that gets sent into the zone. Now ASU, that skips out of the zone. That's huge for the Rebels trying to kill this game off. 1 minute to go in the third period. About 20 seconds to go on the power play for the Sun Devils. Once again, Dylan Jensen for high sticking late in this going of the game. And Marshawn's shot misses wide. And Mastic knifes at it. Can't get it out of the zone, and that gets blocked way up high. Now Marshawn skating the line with about 40 seconds to go. Shot from the slide. Wakeland finds it and holds for a whistle. That was Carter Newland with a high slot shooting chance.
Yeah, some tired bodies there for the Rebels. They've been hemmed in their zone for the last minute or so. But Doug Wakeland's there again to make the big save.
So 1 second remains on the power play for Arizona State. They got this one draw, and they don't come away with possession. UNLV back to full strength as we approach the final 30 seconds in the third period. And a shot from the side of the goal mouth is saved by Wakeland. It'll hold for another whistle. 24.3 to go.
Yeah, not much time left here, Dom, and it looks like the Rebels are going to close this one out and get the win against the visiting Sun Devils.
Once again, Arizona State and UNLV will do battle at 7 p.m. on Friday night. Basically tonight is another drive, misses high and wide. And that gets sent out of the zone by UNLV. Down the length of the ice, Marshawn hustling back for the icing. That game is in about 16 hours. 16 and a half hours, Bo. It's going to be a quick turn for us.
It will be, and with some Olympic hockey on tomorrow, too, I might have to push through and wake up early to watch the Olympics with the time change there. I believe they're 8 hours ahead, so I think the Canadians' puck drop is at noon, so I'll be up for that.
There we go. You might get a good 7 hours of sleep then.
Maybe.
Make some breakfast, get some Joe in you. You'll be good to go. Final seconds come off the clock here at City National Arena. And UNLV picks up a hard-fought W over Arizona State. 4-2 is your final score in Midnight Madness here at City National Arena.
Big shout out to the fans who stuck around the entire time. I'd say it's about 2/3 full here at
2:21
local time.
Here's your highlight reel of big plays. UNLV got it going early in the first period, all three of those goals, giving UNLV a big-time advantage. But Arizona State came storming back off the back of Matthew Gross, a pair of goals, but a pair of big saves from Doug Wakeland. Might have been the difference here. Could have been 2 goals, and we might be going to overtime right here. But those 2 saves from Doug Wakeland helping keep UNLV into this game and in the lead. And we weren't without any rough stuff. Here's the little dust up. The first of the night, the first really big one that we got on the replay. UNLV coming back, though, late in the second period. Caleb Strong finds the back of the net, but Arizona State late. Matthew Gross, the baseball swing and the home run, giving ASU a 2-goal deficit late. And here's your latest dust up. Luke Backel locking horns with the captain of the Sun Devils, Cade Olson. And there are a few penalties to be had there on those 2. And Charlie Masick, what would have been the goal that sealed it was blown dead for offside. So we're going to let you all go to sleep. We're going to see you right back here at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, ASU and UNLV. On behalf of Bo Kennedy, Cal Sparrow, Zoe Salas, Nardia Petitjeler, Marcus Bray, Gene Gomez, Rolando Guerrero, and everybody here at the Skating Rebel broadcast team, I'm Dominic Waugh saying thank you, good night, and we'll see you all tomorrow night.